The French Revolution, which lasted from 1789 to 1799, was a pivotal moment in history that forever changed the political and social landscape of France and had a significant impact on the rest of the world. However, what if the French Revolution had been suppressed? What would the consequences have been for France and the world at large? In this video, we will explore the potential outcomes and implications of such a scenario. The French Revolution is often associated with the overthrow of the monarchy, the Reign of Terror, and the rise of Napoleon Bonaparte. However, if the revolution had been quashed, the monarchy may have continued to rule, potentially delaying the spread of democratic ideals in Europe. Without the French Revolution, the concept of individual rights and sovereignty might not have gained the same momentum, impacting the subsequent revolutions and independence movements in other parts of the world. The suppression of the French Revolution could have also altered the course of European politics and international relations, potentially leading to a different balance of power and shaping the geopolitical landscape in unforeseen ways. The economic impact of suppression. If the French Revolution had been suppressed, it is likely that the deeply entrenched economic disparities in France would have persisted. The feudal system, which placed heavy tax burdens on the lower classes while exempting the nobility and clergy, would have continued to stifle economic growth and exacerbate social tensions. Additionally, the lack of reforms to the taxation system and an agrarian structure would have impeded any potential economic advancements. The wealth gap between the privileged few and the struggling masses would have widened, leading to prolonged economic stagnation and potential unrest. Moreover, the absence of revolutionary economic changes, such as the abolition of feudal privileges, the implementation of a more equitable tax system, and the redistribution of land among the peasantry, would have hindered the modernization of the economy. The absence of these reforms could have led to a persistence of outdated agricultural practices, limiting productivity and technological advancements in the agricultural sector. The suppression of the revolution might have also prolonged the dominance of mercantilist policies, hindering the expansion of trade and industry. These conditions would have likely resulted in France falling behind other European powers in terms of economic development and innovation. The social repercussions of suppression. In the absence of the French Revolution, social inequality and an oppressive class system would have persisted. The revolutionary ideals of liberty, equality, fraternity would not have materialized, leaving the lower classes disenfranchised and without a voice in the governance of their own country. The ideas of meritocracy and equal opportunity would have remained distant dreams, perpetuating a society where one's social status was determined at birth. Such social rigidity would have hindered social mobility and thwarted the potential for widespread education and empowerment of the masses. The suppression of the French Revolution would have legitimized the absolute power of the monarchy and aristocracy, further entrenching social injustice and undermining aspirations for change. Without the revolution, the lower classes would have continued to face heavy tax burdens while the nobility and clergy enjoyed exemptions, exacerbating economic disparities. The absence of reforms, such as the abolition of feudal privileges and the implementation of a more equitable tax system, would have hindered economic advancements, perpetuating a widening wealth gap and potential unrest. Additionally, the lack of land redistribution among the peasantry would have prolonged outdated agricultural practices, limiting productivity and technological advancements. The revolution was pivotal in striving for economic reform to modernize the economy and push for equitable opportunities, all of which would have been halted if the revolution had been suppressed. The political ramifications of suppression. Had the French Revolution been suppressed, the absolute monarchy would have retained its stranglehold on power, stifling any prospects for representative government. The establishment would have continued to operate with impunity, disregarding the popular will and denying citizens the right to participate in the political process. Without the revolution, France would have missed the impetus to adopt a constitutional monarchy or a republic, potentially leading to continued autocratic rule and suppression of civil liberties. The absence of revolutionary movements might have also dissuaded other nations from pursuing democratic ideals, altering the course of global political development. The lack of upheaval in France would have influenced neighboring countries, potentially preventing the spread of revolutionary fervor and the demand for representative governance. The suppression of the French Revolution could have led to a ripple effect of stifled democratic aspirations across Europe, shaping the geopolitical landscape in unforeseen ways and potentially delaying the progress of democratic ideals. Consequently, the absence of the French Revolution's impact on global political development might have resulted in prolonged periods of autocratic rule and limited prospects for political reform, impacting the trajectory of nation-states in the pursuit of representative governance. The global influence of suppression. The suppression of the French Revolution would have had far-reaching global consequences, shaping the trajectory of political movements and ideals across the world. The absence of a successful revolution in France could have emboldened other monarchies to resist reforms and crack down on dissent, thus potentially delaying or stunting the advancement of democratic principles internationally. This could have led to a domino effect, where the inspiration for societal change and popular uprising brought about by the French Revolution would have been absent, altering the historical narrative of resistance and revolution. Without the iconic symbolism of the French Revolution as a catalyst for societal change, the historical memory and inspiration for subsequent revolutionary movements might have been fundamentally different. The lack of this influential event could have resulted in a diminished fervor for challenging oppressive regimes and advocating for widespread societal reform, ultimately altering the course of global history in profound ways. Conclusion. In conclusion, the suppression of the French Revolution would have had far-reaching and profound consequences for France and the world. It would have perpetuated economic inequality, social injustice, and political repression within France, potentially stifling the rise of democratic movements globally. The French Revolution's impact on history and its legacy as a harbinger of change underscore its pivotal significance, making it a crucial event in the annals of human civilization. It is important to note that the influence of the French Revolution extended far beyond its borders, shaping the trajectory of political movements and ideals across the world. The absence of a successful revolution in France could have emboldened other monarchies to resist reforms and crack down on dissent, potentially delaying or stunting the advancement of democratic principles internationally. This domino effect would have altered the historical narrative of resistance and revolution, as the iconic symbolism of the French Revolution as a catalyst for societal change would have been absent. Without it, the fervor for challenging oppressive regimes and advocating for widespread societal reform might have been fundamentally different, significantly impacting the course of global history. Therefore, the French Revolution's suppression would have reverberated across the globe, potentially leading to a starkly different political reality and global landscape.